drivers, the megacities of today are depressing. Traffic has become a swear word. Pollution has become a way of life, whether it's noise or air. It all seems so gloomy and glum. But as they say, every cloud has a silver lining. And the silver lining around the dark clouds in this case is this. It's hard to categorize it as anything in particular, but what I can tell you is that it's made by Renault and it's called the Twizy. It's hard to say whether it's a car or a bike. It's got 4 wheels, but it's not quite a car, is it? It comes closest to the mobility vehicle concepts that manufacturers have been showcasing at motor shows around the world. And there have been many of them. Just last year, Audi showcased the Urban concept, while Volkswagen showcased the Nils concept at the Frankfurt Motor Show. Toyota also has shown its iReal concept in the past. Renault though showed the Twizy concept for the first time in 2009, but then very quickly decided to make it. So categorizing and defining the Twizy was clearly not very easy for Renault either, because after they decided to make it, they decided to categorize it in an all-new category as an UDO, an unidentified driving object. At first, the Twizy does seem very strange and very charming in a futuristic sci-fi kind of way. But break it down and it is normal enough. Like a normal car, the Twizy comes with 4 wheels and it has a cabin too. But the cabin sits on top of a skateboard-like chassis and it doesn't look particularly spacious. Poke your head inside and you'll see that the Twizy can seat 2 people. And they sit one behind the other, like on a motorcycle. The 30 liters of luggage space, that's what you'd carry on a motorcycle with saddlebags. Motorcycle-like qualities in any vehicle is a good thing. In fact, in my books, it's downright awesome. Sure, you do have a roof over your head, but there are no windows on these doors. So you're in constant contact with the environment outside. You can feel everything. It's not quite wind in the hair, but it is wind in the face. It's brilliant. So you can smell the fresh cut grass or feel the spray of the ocean as you drive along. But unlike a proper car, it doesn't have any air conditioning or proper windows. So if it's raining or hot, well, you're gonna feel it. But the Twizy makes up for these shortcomings. Oh, it does, and how. It's so nimble, so agile, it's really fun to put around corners. Feels very go-karty in that sense. It's got a steering wheel instead of a handlebar if you ask me, but you know, it's too much fun to be a car. But it is quite solid. The Twizy uses a robust tubular space frame chassis. And Renault Sport Technologies, who were responsible for developing the motor, have placed it just ahead of the rear wheels, which makes this a mid-engine vehicle. And with all its batteries parked down under the seats, the center of gravity is also incredibly low. So this thing can be chucked around with abandon and it won't topple over. Its tiny dimensions and strong footprint give it great agility. It slices around in a way that no car can. But then this has led to one small problem. The ride. It's just so stiff. You'll want to stay away from broken roads in the Twizy. So, it's no smooth riding luxury car, but you can be sure that you won't slip and fall going around a corner. To up the safety factor, the Twizy even has an airbag for the driver. But when it comes to performance, the Twizy isn't boasting about car-like performance. Now Renault aren't comparing their UDO to a car or even to a motorcycle. To a certain degree they've compared it to a scooter. Basically they're making it quite clear that they aren't promising you the sky in terms of performance. In its most powerful version, the Twizy develops only 17 bhp of power and 5.8 kilograms of torque. With 100 kilograms of the lithium-ion batteries on board, the Twizy weighs 450 kilos. That's not heavy, but with 17 bhp on tap, how will it perform? Woo! This is more nippy than the numbers suggest. It's still not ballistic fast or particularly exciting, especially if you flat for it. It feels a little dull, but once you get rolling, it really picks up speed nicely. The one thing is though, you wouldn't want to take this on the autobahn, that's for sure. The Twizy can accelerate to 45 kilometers per hour in 6.1 seconds. And in its intended domain, the city, that should do just fine. And the lithium-ion batteries offer a range of 100 kilometers, which when driven aggressively drops to 55 kilometers as per Renault's claims. Which really does confine you within the city. Although its 3.5-hour charging time isn't too bad, especially considering that you can plug it into any 220-volt socket for a juice up. But for its intended purpose, the Twizy is quite refreshing and a great sign that some manufacturers aren't scared to think out of the box. Now, a quick roundup of the Twizy. Well, it's got its practical side in place, of course. It's got its green credentials in place. It's really nippy around in the city, easy to park, very maneuverable, fun to drive. So really nice and appealing in that sense, but it really can't replace your car. It's got to be an add-on in your garage because it doesn't offer the versatility or, well, the comfort and practicality of your regular car. And well, while it is fun to drive, it's not as fun as a motorcycle, let's say. But it's priced well within motorcycle territory, so that's a really nice alternative for people who want something as an urban runabout that's also got very green credentials. But on the India perspective, the pricing will still make it really quite expensive. But I really don't expect it there because we really aren't ready for electric vehicles. If we were to see this in India, I'd love to see it with a high revving petrol engine.